Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a super quick look at Transformers Generations Studio Series 103. We have Rise of the Beasts Rhinox here in all his Voyager glory. And starting out, we obviously have our cool background from Rise of the Beasts. It's the temple that they visited in South America. We have Rhinox. Giving a pretty cool and unique Rhino silhouette. I like this silhouette a lot here. We've got, a lot of gray coloring, some bits of silver, either in like a shinier, darker, silvery plastic, or painted on top of the gray plastic. Little bits of bronze, a little bit of this dark gray around the face, his horn. Yeah, I mean, he is a pretty intimidating looking rhinoceros. I like his, he's got weapon storage on top for kind of a missile pod thing there. And it obviously can transform into his hammer, which is really neat. In terms of articulation, these legs can kick. There is a little bit of splay and ankle tilt here, but due to transformation, you can't really rotate at the thigh in this mode very much, and there's nothing really at the shin or knee. The front legs can come forward. The armor will start getting in its own way. You can, it's going to pop off. That's my biggest complaint of this toy, I think, is how much things pop off so easily. But you can kind of get the armor back on and then get it out to get yourself just a little more, gappage and room to get the leg forward a little bit more. The legs can go out, and again, if we get the armor out, they can go out that far. They do have a knee bend, so you can get kind of this charging pose here, which is neat. And then there is a little bit of twist here, which I appreciate, as well as a ball joint, so you can kind of get him splayed out ready to charge. And yeah, like I said, he looks pretty good. It's just kind of the gaps and the looseness and things. Like his horn here doesn't want to stay flush. It keeps, as we move it, it'll keep on to like tilt down. So you really got to just get it back into place there. He's got nice little green eyeballs, but maybe a little more color around the mouth or something. It feels like, yeah, his mouth opens, which is neat, but there's nothing in here indicating like a mouth or mouth structure or like a little bit of pink paint or something. And then, yeah, I mean, his posability, feels like Rise of the Beasts is not going for superposable beast modes. They want like cool looking beast modes that'll stand cool next to the rest of your collection. So let's get Cheetor and Airazor out here. Now, I haven't reviewed Airazor yet. That's because my version didn't come with her weapons. I'm waiting for replacement parts, which will be arriving. But here are the three Studio Series Maximals next to each other. And I will say, just by like posability and intimidating presence, I really like Rhinox. I think the more I see Rhinox, the less impressed I am, and I wasn't super impressed with Cheetor from the beginning. Rhinox feels like a proper Voyager. And he just, the Rhino mode here really does a lot to sell. Oh yeah, also he's got a little tail. Does a lot to sell the value here, especially if he's like posed up here. I dig that a lot, comparing him to Cheetor and kind of Cheetor's limited posability. Rhinox does, I think, just sell that beast mode the best out of the three. Comparing him to other Rhinoxes I do like the way my Rhino herd is growing and looks in this collection. This is Thrilling 30 Rhinox, obviously heavily inspired by Beast Wars. Kingdom Rhinox, another slightly different Beast Wars variation. And yeah, like seeing them kind of these different interpretations, like this feels like the most realistic Rhino mode. This feels like the most Beast Warsy Rhino mode. And then this is like this cool like Transmetal 2 design. I like this silhouette for its realism. I like this silhouette for its just like sheer bulkiness. And then I like this because it looks so powerful. That big hunch, this belly right here, that looks really cool in terms of silhouette. There's a lot going on Rhinox's beast mode that does a lot to sell me on this figure. But I think next thing we want to do is transform him into robot mode. So let's get these guys out of here and get to that transformation. All right, it's time to announce the winner of Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution, Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, the core class 2-pack. Over here on the left, we have all the suggestions for different multi-packs to come out at the core class price point. Some people had some really creative ideas. I like, I mean, it's a classic, but I liked all the ideas for Seekers. Over here on the right, if you entered in the giveaway and everything, then you got entered here on the right, and we had 29 entries. Let's see who our winner is. Ran between 1 and 29. Our winner is number 14. 14 is Warboys Gelsoft. Warboys Gelsoft, congratulations. Ultra Magnus and Soundwave, which I like the idea of. Again, like they said, the two like loyal lieutenant type soldier types, and Soundwave, like Ultra Magnus getting the armor would help, you know, make that price point, and Soundwave having mini cassettes would definitely make that price point. Congratulations, Warboys Gelsoft. Get your information over to me, and we'll get the 2-pack shipped out to you as soon as possible. And let's get back to the review. All right. To start out transforming Rhinox, I kind of work from the back forward. We're going to undo his butt flap. That is just 2 tabs here. That comes in back here. This is on a double hinge that we can just bring forward, bring the tail up, and this kind of sits here for the rest of the transformation. On his legs, we can bring down the knees to give him robot knees. We can open up. There's a little gap on the shins that you can click out on either side. That one's not as snappy, but gives just a little more like depth to his shins. And essentially, you've got your robot mode legs all done at this point. We can come up. We're going to try and avoid taking off the shoulder armor, but I feel like it happens almost all the time. We can click our belly out, which will give us a little more wiggle room to take these arms out into the sides. On either side, if you look, there's a tab here that goes in right here. Same thing on this side. Bring it out and away. Then we can take the base of the Rhino neck, flip the whole back assembly up and out of the way, letting us fold in the Rhino horn. Fold it in like so, with the neck also kind of folded in, and then we can collapse the Rhino horn down, folding the whole head down and in like this. Actually, before we do that, we have 2 spikes that we're going to bring out on his robot mode back. Now we can fold in the Rhino head down and in, and we can bring that whole assembly closed back here. With these shoulders up, dang, I was so close. They really just are the loosest little pegs. It's really annoying. With these shoulders up and out of the way, you see there are 2 tabs here that were in these slots here. Now they're going to close in on our chest piece as we take out on either side these side stomach pieces, and then bring up our chest, and you can see these tabs go on, those slots go onto those tabs, and they close up nicely on either side. And then we just close his belly, and the very last thing is just getting his robot arms, or his robot hands out. There's a panel here. We are going to rotate the Rhino foot down so the toes point into the forearm. Same thing on this side. Open up the panel, rotate the toes, flip things around, close it, and then we can rotate our arms to give him proper elbows and our wrists to give him the correct hand distance. Give him his hammer, and here is Rhinox in his, unhinge his little crotch, I don't know, belly piece. And here is Rhinox in his robot mode, and I'll say he looks okay. I don't like this as much as I liked his rhinoceros mode. It feels not 100% screen accurate. It feels closer to some of his models. There are things I like. Let's start out with the things I like. I like the battle damage. I like these sculpted, scratches in his armor. I like his design where he has like clearly this like armor collar piece and his head sits in. It looks like he has armor on top of his existing robot body, which is cool. He's decently posable enough. That head sculpt looks a little lifeless to me, but it evokes some of Rhinox's design and it does wiggle. We have arms that if we fold the armor piece out can go 90 degrees. There is an elbow swivel. There is a 90-degree bend here as well as a wrist swivel. This does go 360. We do have a waist here. The knees are a sticking point for me in that they don't stick. You want to get things up and kind of click them tight. And then they work okay. But I find that, they are just loose enough. I wish they had a couple detents so that they would really stick solid. And they also seem small for his body. He has this, long torso. And I think it's part of the armor that makes it seem longer. And then he's got these short, stubby legs. I wish the legs transformed more so that he just had an extra, ½ inch in height. And it was in his legs. I think that would help his proportions a bit. He does look nice and powerful, but I feel like he also looks stumpy and short, whereas he could have been taller and still been just as nice and powerful. As is, it's a Rhinox. Here he is next to Cheetor and Airazor. And obviously, Airazor never transforms in the movie, but her toy got an alt mode or a robot mode. So I want to show her like this. And again, she doesn't have her weapons. But Cheetor and Rhinox as the two Maximals that kind of had the least lines, how they look together. And it is interesting that both of these toys kind of disappointed me in different ways. It feels like it's not living up to the Studio Series level of articulation and intricacy. They're both fine. But in robot mode, they both kind of let me down, and Cheetor lets me down a lot in his cheetah mode. But, they still look pretty cool together. And then we can get Cheetor out of here. And here are my different Rhinoxes next to each other. And obviously, they're different inspirations. This Rhinox is referencing the Beast Wars design, but is not the Beast Wars design itself. I like that it's different. I like that... I like the Rhino mouth split, that's really cool, but I like that this one doesn't do that. I like his pauldrons, I like his armor pieces. I just feel like the waist needed to be a little higher up. The proportions could be better. His articulation, I feel like, could be better. He's got a little bit of a thigh swivel here and a boot cut here, but those legs not being more proportioned just means that it's harder to get him in interesting dynamic poses, attacking poses. I like the greeble inside here. I like the sculpting design. I just don't like the engineering as much. So that being said, would I recommend Rhinox, Studio Series 103 Rhinox? I think it's a no. I feel like it's unfortunate to say this, but it feels like as much as I'm excited for the toys and I want to check them out, the Studio Series Rise of the Beast line has been disappointing to me. Overall, it feels a little rushed. It feels like they wanted to get the toys out with the movie. And to me, that's not what Studio Series is about. Studio Series should be about getting as the best, the most accurate representation of that character in toy form at this price point. And I feel like they nailed that with previous toys like Blackout and Grimlock, and they aren't nailing it with the Rise of the Beast Studio Series, and that is disappointing. So I don't think I'd recommend this. I'm curious about the mainline movie Rhinox. Maybe that's a better toy than this. This one, I really just like the Rhino mode out of everything. I like that the most. The rest of it is it's fine, but again, I don't think I recommend this, especially not at the price point that it's going for now. $40, I think it it's fine, but it's not $40 worth it. That is it for today's video. Again, congratulations to the winner that we announced earlier in the video, and have a great week, everyone. See y'all later. Bye.